On my last market update video, I was talking about the fact of whether these Panda Daytonas were going for $50,000, you know? I got plenty of comments, DMs, phone calls, emails with people stating that they did pay over $50,000 for that Daytona. A lot of people misunderstood that because although I kept quoting people over 50, people kept saying, hey Eric, I thought they weren't selling for 50. I said no, I haven't been able to sell one for over $50,000. Not that I sell them for less. And at this moment, I still was not able to sell one over 50K. But now, in May, it's safe to say that these watches are not going for that price anymore. There's officially been a correction and it's starting. Although some people are starting to say that the watch market is going downhill. Oh my God, the bubble has blown up. Guys, every market is going down right now. Have you not looked at the stock market? Have you even seen the price of gold? That took a $100 plunge. I mean, everything right now is slowing down, whether it's the current administration or perhaps maybe the conflicts that are going on in Europe, or maybe the lockdown in China that's been going on for about 9 weeks. All of these are factors. We don't know really what it is. My thing is watches. What I will tell you is, it is official. We are having right now a correction. And the question that everybody wants to know is, how low will it go? With the market rallying the last year and a half, I felt that yes, things kept getting more expensive, but they kind of went up bit by bit. Whereas in February, we had such a huge increase in prices that really just made me say, whoa. It also turned off a lot of buyers at that moment. It just got way too crazy and out of range certain models. That is where I think that maybe perhaps, again, this is not a prediction, okay? I am not a psychic. I've said this before, if not, I'd be doing something else. I think if the correction does happen, we probably might be seeing the prices again that were in December, which were a bit more sustainable, yet, of course, still high. But these February prices, I think these are the first ones that are gonna be affected. I get a lot of comments in my videos about this topic, and you get the people saying, oh my God, finally it's going down. All these flippers are gonna lose their jobs. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, the flippers, yeah. I'm not one of those guys, but if that makes everybody else feel better, I guess so. I can't control the market, okay? I've been doing this since before all of this hype happened, and I'm still here. So what I would say is, and I said it before, I did a market video right during the lockdown. And what did I say? I said, buy now. Now's the time to buy. I said it. Some of you guys didn't believe me. In all the comments, you guys said, wait till it really starts happening. The effects of this lockdown haven't even occurred yet. You guys are gonna be sorry. Didn't see it happen. What I would tell you is, now might be the time to buy as well, but maybe not yet. Let's wait and see where exactly the prices settle at. Not every watch is affected by this market right now. It's only really been the ones that went up too fast, too high in a very short time. I feel like those are the ones that are mostly affected. There's certain watches like a Daytona Platinum going for $200,000, which I'm not really quite sure I can justify that. Certain pieces went up way too high. I mean, a stainless steel 41mm sub was at 20K. 20K. You know, I think those are the type of watches that maybe are gonna come down 10, 15, maybe even 20%. Others have called and said that it's a 30% reduction. Haven't seen those numbers yet. We'll have to wait and see, but as of right now, I don't think it's gonna happen. Patek Philippe, some of the Nautiluses also went up way too much. For example, the 5990, that was a little bit of a perfect storm because it was the market increasing and then the discontinuation of it. That particular piece now has simmered down. I'd say it's about $20,000 to $25,000 less than it was before. These are the watches that I think will be the most affected in this correction right now. This market correction is also kind of an awkward timing for these new AP 50th anniversary releases. Right out the gate, the prices skyrocketed. And yes, I do believe that these watches in the long term will hold very well and will do very good in the market. But it's kind of a little bit weird what's going on, this slowdown. What exactly is causing this slowdown? My guess, and again, I'm not an expert at any of this stuff, I'm only an expert in watches, is The fact that China has been closed for over 9 weeks, they are a very big contributor to the world economy. And with them being shut down and not so much movement going around, I think that is one of the very big factors. Another thing is going to be, well, insecurity in this country. Right now, people are not really sure what's going to happen with the economy. So maybe perhaps they're holding off. A lot of these fly-by-night flippers, as they call them, yes, the flippers, that were pretending to be watch leaders, I'm sure right now are shaking in their sleep. God help them if they're holding a lot of inventory, because that's when they're really going to separate the men from the boys. You know, I also can't help to think, well, what if the market goes down 50%? What if it gets that bad? I mean, it is what it is. I've been into this because I like watches, okay? I used to buy watches because I like them. Sometimes I lose 40, 50%, and you start learning and you say, hey, maybe I shouldn't buy an all-gold Breitling. Maybe I should buy a Rolex because I'm more secure. I have less exposure. But at the end of the day, this is a hobby that I enjoy. Yes, I do this for a living and it is a business, but foremost, it's been a hobby for me. I love watches, and I never really just got into watches only because of the value. Yes, it does help when you have a hobby that you can put your money away and most of it is there. But I come from the generation where you buy watches and you're okay if you lose 35% of the value, or 20 or 25. Nowadays, people are so used to only buying pieces and having an increase of 25 to 30%. And I think that is where the problem is going to be. The readjustment in this hobby, where people that got into this hobby expecting increases now see what the reality is when there's a correction. It is what it is. Watches are always going to historically be a good investment when you look at it over time. Although we've never seen these numbers that we're having right now, I would say that I don't foresee there's going to be a total collapse of the watch market. If you look around, ask questions, every market is slowing down right now. Every single one. We're getting into the summer, a little bit of uncertainty, so people are going to hold off a bit. If you're in a good position right now, I would say the next 4 weeks is a good time to buy. Not buy all the hype pieces, but maybe buy that watch that you've been looking for. You know, I also feel that whenever the new models come out from these watch brands, it's almost like they kind of flush out the older ones, you know? People start getting phone calls for Batman Jubilees and Pepsis and subs, and they kind of flush these watches out, because I haven't really even started seeing the new models yet. So it's almost like there's always a little bit of a dip before. And don't be surprised if there's a rally. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. It could be a rally, or at least a correction to hold up to the numbers back to December. So the conclusion is yes, I think the market is heading into a slight correction. I don't think it's going to be a major one. The real question is, are you into this hobby or into watches for passion or profit? That's going to be the big question. For those of you at home that perhaps are panicking and deciding to sell, I don't recommend that. I think maybe you should hold. If you really weren't in this for the passion, then maybe it's time to walk away. But we'll have to wait and see, because I think long term, historically, watches have not disappointed me ever, as an investment, as a hobby, as a passion, or however you want to call it. So comment below what you think is happening right now to the watch prices. And if you like this video, like and share it. Also, subscribe to my new YouTube channel. I hate my new mic.